guys, it's the INFERNO 101 reality show where we give you nothing but the very best of what's going on, what's hot in Cape Town. And today we got Juice in the studio. Welcome, Juice,
What's
to
going
101.
on? Yeah.
It's your host KG, guys. Today we want to know who's Juice, what's his motive, where is he coming from. Juice, just introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself.
I got you. All right, so my name is Julian. I go by Juice. It's a old nickname from Jacksonville, Florida. I'm from a hot spot right now. All the Florida rappers is popping. We got Kodak, Glock 9, a bunch of them. Music right now in Florida is what it is. We on top right now. That old, hey, the South is shining right now. Florida blood.
Okay, so you're coming from the heart of hip-hop, where hip-hop is being originated. Tell us more about Florida. We want to know about this Florida.
Alright, so
Sorry for the accent. We are from Africa, eh? So please bear with us.
Alright, so Florida right now is real hot. It's wintertime, so it's cooling down a little bit, but you know, it's a lot of rivalries with the gang stuff going on right now. Just like a lot of other places, Chicago, New York, with all the activity that's going on. It's a hot spot. So music is a way out for a lot of us right now. It's what we got to give, and it's what's gonna get us up out of there.
So what is really causing all this fight in the hood? What might be the cause?
Well, a lot of it, I mean, it's not even territory because everybody know which neighborhood they belong to. I mean, it's more so just rivalries. You kill my homeboy, I come back and kill your homeboy. You get mine, I gotta get yours type of mentality, you know.
So it's kind of like there's no familyhood, or there's no respect to each other.
I mean,
what's your take?
I guess you could say that. I mean, obviously you don't respect somebody if they kill somebody you love or care about, but familyhood, as far as now, you could be from the same neighborhood but ended up moving to different neighborhoods later on in life and still be beefing with somebody that you grew up with. So it all just depends on who your loyalty lies to. Does it lie to, or does it lie with the guy that you grew up with, or does it lie in the neighborhood?
But I think if we have to change, we need to change that so we can have love among each other, because love covers everything. I believe if we love each other, then there's no dispute between us, or if you have a problem, we just solve
definitely.
Like respectively. But I'll still come back to that thing that you're coming from the hip-hop heart of hip-hop, hip-hop hood. So how does is hip-hop a culture? Do you guys like us in Africa, we have culture, we have like certain music that we can say that that's our culture. Some have kwaito. We have in Zimbabwe we have what we call mseve, because that's like a cultural thing. So is hip hop like your culture? That even from childhood you learn hip hop, you learn how to rap, because on our point of view here in Africa, we think that maybe we think that hip hop we are being taught from a childhood, like in the streets everyone is rapping, because we see a lot of rappers, they start from an early age. So how is hip hop? How do you take hip hop?
Hip hop is definitely a culture. Like, it's not all just one thing, you know. I feel like all the major genres originate from Africa. Like, black is everything. So rock and roll obviously originated from Africa. All these things came from the motherland, and they were just appropriated and taken later to be made something different. But as far as hip hop culture, man, you got trap, you got drill, you got that alternative hip hop. It's not just one thing. Like, you don't have to be a rapper and just do the same thing everybody else is doing. Now for me, hip hop, I grew up hip hop, like, you know, I'm black, so I grew up listening to, you know, Cash Money, No Limit, all them boys, man.
I can see with your teeth.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Yeah, it's a big thing. But definitely, yeah. I mean, I started doing with the pen and the pad when I was a jit. So when it came to music, it was always a part of me. You know, I always loved music, wanted to rap and be all that. You know, that's a lot of people be like, you know, why you don't, you know, my pops used to get on me all the time, like, why you don't want to be this and be that? I'm like, you know,
what was the reason of him saying that? Was it because a rape game was associated to something else, or why would your parents say no, you need to stop this?
Well, it wasn't parents. Like I grew up with my pops, so I was with my mom at first, and then I went with my pops. So because I was a wild child or whatever. What ended up happening was like my pops. He just, you know, he grew up in the hood, the projects, whatever. So he wanted me to have something different, even though it was hard. And then sometimes we wasn't always able to be in a nice neighborhood. You know, a lot of that time we did stay in the hood and we did stay in bad neighborhoods and stuff. But you know, he wanted something different. He wanted me to want something different. So you know, the image that everybody have of hip hop is, you know, gangsterism. So. I didn't see dentists in my neighborhood. I didn't see doctors in my neighborhood. I didn't see lawyers. I saw drug dealers with gold teeth, big rims on their cars, candy paint, and that's what I seen. And I seen those guys had all the nice women. So that's what I wanted. So I mean, in my eyes, like you can't, you know, for him to tell me why you don't want to be this or why you don't want to be that. I never saw that growing up. You know, we didn't see that. You didn't see that. You didn't hang out with those type of guys. So how could you expect me to see that and want to be that? You see what I'm saying? So in my mind, I mean, I idolized the drug dealer.
Just to cut you short, I think that's also what makes people think that hip hop is all associated with drug dealers, with gunshots and all that. People would not understand that it's only that because people in the hood they do that. Even though they do have the talent and they do have the culture of hip hop, and then doing other things that makes people think that maybe hip hop is associated to.
Well, it all goes
drugs.
down. It all goes down to programming. Because if you think about, you know, back in the early 1900s, starting to get to the late, it was the whites who were the gangsters and the drug dealers. You know, the Italian mob, the Irish mob, all these people because they were underprivileged.
You can't tell that right. You can't tell white men that.
Yeah, but of course you can. But they were underprivileged, so they was the ones selling drugs. They was the ones riding around with Tommy guns doing drive-bys. So once they got taken out of oppression and given capital, they stopped being the gangsters. So now the new underprivileged people are the Africans left over from quote-unquote slavery.
It's good because we in Africa, we didn't know that they are the ones that started, because we think that it's us black people that start with this gangsterism. So it's good to know, because at least we have a light to where this gangsterism starts in America. So I think that's one thing that I appreciate, having you in the show and coming from where hip hop originally comes from. And we would want to know, how did you start your music career, your journey?
I mean, like I said, as a jit, I used to write rhymes in the paper book. I didn't really take it serious. I was a kid. Then, you know, I hit around 14, 15, and I was like cutting grass. I was also selling grass. You know, I was doing what I needed to do to get the equipment I needed to do my own music. Did what I needed to do to get the money.
It's really sad that you know, as a black person, you still need to struggle to get something. Like you're saying, you used to get grass and all that. It's sad that we don't have the opportunity to just get everything in the silver plate like what these white people had. The privileges that they have, I think is too much. Or how do you, what's your take about it in America?
My take about white privilege?
That they are more privileged than the black community.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's everywhere you go that has a majority white population. I noticed that here in Cape Town, a lot of these white people are privileged. But I feel like I respected it more, that I had to earn it myself. And I'm not glorifying selling drugs or anything like that, but look at it now, weed is legal pretty much everywhere you go. Not entirely, but pretty much everywhere you go. So I look at it as a pioneer. You know, I was doing it before it was legal, you know, before it was mainstream. And I was only doing it to get the things that I felt were necessary. I wasn't doing it to, I would say, to like impress other people, you know. I was doing it to get what I needed to survive, I guess you would say.
Maybe just with that, so there was like a transformation from the old you to the new you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, yeah.
How was that transformation?
What do you mean? Like what inspired the transformation? Man, just jail, like amongst other things, like just once you get older, like that life is just it got less and less fun, and then I kept getting into situations that I felt like I was lucky to get out of. So I just wanted to. I hated having to go look over my back everywhere I went, you know, because you never just, especially when it comes to like the drug game, you don't stay in one spot. You kind of.
You have no freedom.
You either gonna get big or you don't want to stay in one spot. Some people do stay in one spot. I still know people who still selling weed like it's '09 or something. So I mean. I started getting I was making too much money. I got too comfortable, and I just hated looking over my shoulder every time, and just having to carry a gun every time I go somewhere. People shooting at me having to shoot at other people. It just wasn't a life that I wanted to live for the rest of my time.
So what kind of lessons can you, because you said it's a kind of lesson that you learned from jail when you were behind bars. So there are a lot of youngsters that are out there that are busy doing that because you have learned the hard way, so you drew lessons from what you have done. But there are youngsters that are out there, both back home in the United States and here in South Africa, in Africa as a whole. What lessons can you give them, because you have already learned something and you drew lessons from your mistakes?
Luckily, so what I can say is luckily I didn't have to spend too much time in jail. I know, man, I got some of my close homies that I call my brothers right now locked up for life for murder. And it's just like seeing them, they kids getting older, I'm getting older, and like, you know, they still behind bars. Like, it's not worth it, man. Like, you know, back when I was growing up, when I was a jit, it was like the thing to, like, in order to be a legit, what we call a street nigga, you had to have been locked up at some point. Like, you can't say you really a street nigga if you ain't did no time. So for me, luckily, everything that I did, I was able to reverse it. Like, I didn't catch no bodies or nothing that would get me put behind bars or anything like that. So it was, I would say it was a lucky situation. And now, if I had to like pass on some information, I would just say, man, don't make a career out of street life. Like, if you have no choice, because some people just put in a situation where they don't have a choice. So if you have no choice, do what you need to do to get where you need to be at, but don't make it a career, because it's not lucrative if you locked up. I mean, in some cases, you know, I guess, but like, I just personally, man, I just don't feel like.
And I believe there is no freedom because you're also just scared all the time.
Yeah, I mean, once
carrying a gun, taking the thing that you said, you were carrying the gun everywhere, it shows that on your own, you have no freedom, isn't it? Like, you don't have freedom, so you need to protect yourself all the time.
Oh yeah, like if I know if I'm going to this side of town, like I got ops on this side of town, yeah, like and like I moved around a lot, so it was, I didn't have, you know, a lot of people grow up in one neighborhood their whole life, so they got people that they grew up with. I was always moving, so if I'm moving to a new neighborhood and I'm selling dope in somebody else's neighborhood, like that automatically made me a target. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have nobody to back me up because I'm new. You feel me? So I mean, I have to have a pistol. Yeah. So I mean, and I'm not promoting no street life or none of that stuff. It's just the simple fact of, I mean, it's just what happened.
it's good that you have gone through rough time and tough time, but today we have the new juice where we are talking about the music, because you further continue with the career of your music and going on with your music. Tell us about the projects that you have. What's the projects that you're running with, the new projects you're coming up with? What does it consist of? The content of the new projects.
Yeah, man. So this the part that excites me myself personally, man.
As a new man.
Yeah, I mean the
You're
music, man. The music is a getaway. You know, like thinking about all the stuff I've seen and did in the past. Just I just don't like. I wanted to start fresh. You feel me? But the music now, that's the love. When it comes to music, man, I dropped 2 projects. I got Rockstar, and then I got Diamonds, which are doing well right now. And talks of radio play, got some radio play, blase, shooting a video at the end of the month. Got a lot of women interested in being in that video. As far as like projects coming soon, man, being independent, well, it's a struggle, man. Like people,
I can feel you, man.
It's not cheap in these streets. Well, I be thinking about the old days, like, man.
I think you need to sacrifice for something that you need. It just doesn't come easily.
No, it doesn't. But like, man, when do you have to stop sacrificing? Shoot, like I feel like I've been sacrificing my whole life. Like, I mean,
it's good when you are going when you have a goal and you drive yourself to the goal that you want. So you have to hustle, man.
You do.
You have to hustle hard. If that means you don't sleep 24/7 hustling, as long as you're hustling in a good way.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm running on fumes right now, boy.
I listened to your song, Rockstar. I love it.
Appreciate it.
I really love the song, and I just had questions in my mind, like, okay, you are a hip hop artist, and you are talking about I'm a rock star.
Yeah.
It get me confused, man.
It confuses you?
It
well,
really
let me help
confused
you.
me.
Let me
like,
help you unconfuse
what's
yourself.
What's up with this guy?
All right, so you get like I mentioned earlier, rock was created by black people. Man, come on, James Brown. This is what we talking about, man. Rock is
It's funny because I listen to rock, or if I look at a rock artist or rock stars, I only see white men. So I personally
that's
thought
because that's what you
for white
choose.
people.
That's what you choose to see. You forgot about James Brown. You forgot about Prince. You forgot about Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
You forgot about Jimmy.
Michael Jackson wanted to be white, so we thought maybe rock
see,
music.
we talking about the old Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson started off black.
Guys, let's take a break. We'll be back soon. We are back, guys, still on the Inferno 101 reality show. So before we take a break, we were talking about you singing that you are a rock star and you being a hip hop artist. That kind of confused me, and me with my thoughts that, okay, rock music was for white people, because I would always see the white people doing rock, not knowing that Michael Jackson.
For my rebuttal for that, so what about all these white rappers? Right. So if rock is for white people, then where's rap music for? Who is rap music for? For the niggas, right?
For the niggas.
Exactly. So why don't people ever check white people when they do it? You know, you got Eminem, you got Post Malone, who already said that he's a rock star. He's not a rapper, but yet all his biggest chart topping music is hip hop. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like as a black man, we are the creator of all music: country, rock, rap. Anything that you could think of, because it all originated from Africa. White people wasn't playing music like that. They might have had the harp or something, which we know still originated from Africa. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to me saying I'm a rock star, basically what I mean is I'm not put in one box. Like, I should be able to do whatever I want to because I'm a black man. You feel me? Like, white people have had this past to be able to just, they could be a rapper, they could be a rock star, shit. They could be a damn opera singer at the whatever, you feel me? But when it comes to black people, you gotta be a rapper, and that's it. You can't do anything. Oh, R&B, you can do R&B, but you can't do nothing else. And I'm telling you, man, I'm a rock star. That's what it is. Like, I'm out of space. I'm somewhere else with mine because I'm not gonna sit in that same box as everybody else. That's why people get trapped, you know. That's why it's called the trap, because you trapped in. You're not going anywhere but that box.
I'm not a fan of trap though.
You're not a fan of trap music? Oh man,
not really.
You're not listening to the right people.
Yeah, maybe if you give me some, I can listen to. Maybe I'm not listening to the right people.
I'm not trapping no more, so I can't. Yeah, I'm not trapping no more, so I can't give you no trap music. Some, eh? Maybe some throwbacks or something, but like I ain't trapping right now, so I can't be making trap music.
I'll be looking forward to hear some of that.
I got you.
So you as an artist, what's your future plans? What's your dream?
I'm gonna keep it G with you the whole way, man. I want to produce, like I want to be behind the camera, like I want to help other artists get their music out there, cause like I be having so many different ideas in my head, but I can only make so many sounds myself. So you know, I want to work with other artists. I want to, you know, produce other artists' work that I feel like could do so much better if they had like maybe like a ghostwriter or maybe like somebody helping them harmonize their lyrics or something like that.
So yeah, you have been an artist and you are still an artist with potential to growth. So far, the way you have traveled or you have traveled your journey with music, what can you say was your greatest contribution to music? And apart from music, what was your greatest contribution even to the community? What you have done to the community and to creativity itself?
Okay, so that's like three things in one. So I'll start with the community. Since like the community, like I've always given back. Even here in Cape Town, I've done food drives. I went to the hood. I done handed out food. I'm trying to work with local artists. I'm actually got some works in the work with some big artists that you know here from Cape Town. And as far as the community back in
Cape Town, who did you work with?
Like what do you mean, like what projects that I'm putting out?
Yeah.
So like I told you, so
and the
far
projects that you're putting out, who were you linked with?
Oh, so you're gonna have to wait until the projects drop for that. That's a surprise, but it's some big artists that you know about. Definitely.
And how did you find the streets of Cape Town, Africa, comparing to the hood you're coming from?
Yeah, I've been fine, man. I fit in with pretty much everybody. I haven't had no issues. Now I'm not gonna lie, I have been in a little bit of trouble since I've been here, but you know, just bringing my American thinking over here. That whole gun situation, like I mentioned before, carrying a gun all the time, ended up getting me in trouble over here. So.
So we are still going back to, you were explaining to me the three things or the contribution that you have done. So we were just explaining to me starting from the community that you were feeding people.
And so my way out of a bad situation, I felt like I kept getting in trouble in the States and blase. I went to the military. I mean, I was good with guns. I figured I might as well.
Military?
Yeah, I did, man. I went to the military.
And how was it?
Man, it was. I had dreads before the military too. I had to cut my dreads off, but it was different, man. I got to get put in some serious situations. I mean, I got to tote a gun whenever I wanted to. I got to, you know, all the things that I was wanting to do. But I mean, it was a lot more than what I expected. Got into a lot of near-death experiences, situations. Man, seen a lot of terrible stuff. A lot of stuff. You think the streets is bad, man. Going to a war zone, you know what I mean?
So you have been in war before?
What's that?
You have been
yes, I've been in combat zones before, yes.
Which one exactly?
I'm not. So in my contract of getting out, I'm not able to disclose. Like,
okay, because of the procedures and the protocols of it. And what other things did you have contributed apart, or what did you learn the most with the military?
I would say brotherhood, maybe. There was a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life, you know. Like I could say, like in my teenage years, I didn't really hang around too many white people. But you know, in the military, I really didn't have a choice. I worked with them. I slept next to them, showered next to them, was in the, you know, in the what we call the shit next to them. So it made me okay with diversity.
Okay, so you're really laying diversity, that we are all the same, despite what people think, that some are superior than the others, but yeah, that's life, man. It's good if you. I think the most important thing is to respect each other,
Right.
due to their morals and your values and all that, and above all, I think love.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, on the other hand, it helped me with my music a lot because I got to hear like a bunch of stuff that I would have never listened to otherwise. You know, when you hang, so even though I moved from neighborhood or city to city, state to state, I still ended up hanging around the same people. So I still had the same mindset. I still had the same outview on life. And then finally, you know, I went to the military, and then it was like I got to see a whole new like way of life, you know. So it helped me with my music a lot.
Yeah, you have been in South Africa. How long have you been in South Africa?
long time.
Long time.
Long enough. Too long, if some may say.
So if you have been long enough in Cape Town or in South Africa, then you know, definitely you know some of those hip hop artists in South Africa.
Yes.
What's your take about hip hop in South Africa?
All right, so I mean, a lot of people gonna dislike me for this, but I'm a traditional hip hop. I like that New York grit, but then again, I'm from the South, so I love me some trap music. But
You come from the best.
I wouldn't say all that, but yeah, I mean, from what other people may presume the best, y'all got some good. I like what's his name, Nasty C. Yeah, bro. See, he my
Shout
type
out
of
to
rapper.
Nasty C.
Yeah, he my type of rapper, bro. Like now a lot of the other local artists, how I say this, they still got that African sound, which I like the Afro beat, but like when it comes to that rap, it's like a lot of African artists try to be too much of a lyricist instead of making like music that sound good. It's like I'm gonna try to fit 1,000 words into this one bar, and then it kind of just sound like.
Also, for them, it's more about bars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that the bars aren't. It's how do I put it, bruh? Like music. I mean, you can have.
Tell us.
You can have bars. You can have bars, but at the same time, the music still sound good. Like, I'm not saying the music sound bad, but you see, Nasty got a nice flow and it sound good. You know, as opposed to like some of these other rappers, it's like they got that. They still in the '90s, as opposed to like advancing with the hip hop. Like you could still have some that gritty lyricist vibe going on, but it gotta sound good. Like, you know, Eminem say some crazy stuff, but at the same time it still sound good. Majority of the time. And then you got people like who else, like Joyner Lucas and J. Cole. It still sounds good. Like it's like they're more focused on being lyricists than making the song sound relatable and good.
So what do you think must be changed? What lessons?
I think they need to listen more and stop trying to prove how good of rappers they are. Like nobody's singling Africa out. I know the bridge between Black Americans and Africa has always had that gap, but y'all got some really good talent here. It's just y'all are so busy trying to prove like, oh man, I'm the best lyricist. I can beat this person, and that's cool.
Competition.
But you're gonna be the best lyricist in your neighborhood because nobody else is gonna hear you, because nobody's gonna want to listen to you spit 30 hours of just straight bars on some 1977 track. You know what I mean? Like music supposed to make you feel good, man.
It's like a therapy. It makes
therapy,
you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's hip hop in Africa. I think you have experienced it. And apart from hip hop, have you listened to any other type of music? Because we do have a lot.
Yeah, like I said, I like the Afro. I'm not really big into the whole techno thing. I used to, well, I still do. I used to hang with Majority Colored, so I got to do the whole disco. I forgot what they call trance music, I think, something like that. But that's not my vibe. But you know, it is what it is. I was new to the area, so I wanted to, you know, get the experience, the culture. But Yeah, I like a lot of y'all stuff. I feel like, man, with the right people, y'all can introduce some of that Afro beat into some good hip hop. Oh man, it could be like a whole new wave. Like I like what's his name? Burna Boy, man. He's dope. Who else? Like local artists, man. It's a dude, what, MT? Yeah, I listened to some of his stuff over the weekend. He decent. He pretty straight. I like how he vocalized. But as far as like rappers, and I haven't heard all the rappers, so if somebody watched this and be like, man, he didn't say this person, like you gotta understand, like I've only heard so much
Some
stuff.
feel.
Yeah.
So which means we still need, or we still have a long way when it comes to hip hop in Africa. So I hope maybe one day in future we will get there, because we just had, or we just drew some laces for someone that is coming from the heart of hip hop, because we never had any opportunity mostly to hear the negative part of the music. So when we are here in Africa, we just think like, okay, what we are doing is right because we just listen to hip hop and it's rhyming with the beat.
Yes.
So we are in the right track.
But see, I feel like as Africans, y'all, or we, I don't want to keep saying y'all because we are the same, right?
Yeah, we are.
We as Africans naturally have rhythm, so I feel like you can ride a beat. You got rhythm. It's just the simple fact that you gotta be speaking of something that's relatable to everybody. You know, you want your music to cross platforms. You don't want it just to be like. So I could.
Heard in Africa only.
Yeah, so I could literally, you know, go back to the studio and just rap about all the stuff I did back when I was younger, toting guns, shooting at people, doing all this crazy stuff, and get heard by people. But then again, I released something like Rockstar that, shoot, white kids can play that. It's a radio joint. It ain't got no cursing, blase blase.
Before we take a break, Jules was telling us about the other artists that he have listened to and other type of music that he have listened to from South Africa. So you were telling me that some of the artists you did not mention should not feel offended because you did not have much time to listen to any other artists, but just a few.
I want to say I didn't have time to listen to other artists. Don't feel offended if I didn't mention you. I just mentioned the people who left like a lasting impression. Like, so if I didn't mention you, I may have listened to you before, but you know, I didn't off the top of my head think about you. But as far as like, I like that, was it Guam?
Goms.
I like that, man. I love me a nice
the beats.
Yes, that boom, those drums, man. I really want to get an engineer in the studio that mix me like hip hop / Guam and get with some of them artists that make that type of music. And like I said before, I do want to work with some local artists that aren't, you know, big time right now. I'm willing to. So once I, you know, leave all my social media or whatever, feel free to hit me up, blase blase.
So where do we get your music if someone wants to listen to your music, to your songs? Especially guys, you need to listen to this Rockstar. It's a hit, man. It's a hit. I love it. Where do we listen? Right. Where do you get your music?
I'm on all platforms. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, SoundCloud, anything you can think of. I'm on there at Ju Got Juice. JUGOT JUICE JUGOT JUICE. All platforms.
So if you want to follow Juice, just go on your Instagram, Apple Music. You will see him there. So you were talking about the musical video that you would want to do, a musical video that is coming up soon. What's our surprise?
Yeah, so while I'm still here in Cape Town, I'm going to be leaving soon. I finally got my passport back. I'm so excited about that. I was on house arrest. They wouldn't let me leave, man. I was a long situation, man. Guns are no fun. Remember that. Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot a video. Make sure I gotta at least shoot one video here in Cape Town while I'm still here. Definitely want to do that. The Rockstar video shoot, the 28th of November, is going down. It's going down. It's gonna be live. all the baddies to show up. If y'all see this before then, y'all gotta come through.
So you guys, you're invited to this boom video that is coming. It was a great pleasure having Juice in the studio at the INFERNO 101 reality show in the streets of Cape Town. So just before we wrap up, Juice, you can just tell us what can you say to the upcoming artists, upcoming hip-hop artists that are trying to make it. They do not have platforms to be heard, and they might need also assistance. As you have been in Africa, you can see the situation in Africa. And the good thing is you have been going around doing your charity work in Africa or in South Africa. You know the struggles in Africa. So what kind of help or assistance can you give, because you said you very soon you will be leaving because your passport is out. So yeah, we're gonna miss you, man. But what can you do for us, because maybe you might have a connection, you might have other people that can help. So what other help can you give?
Alright, so like I said beforehand, I was back behind the scenes doing the producing thing. So I do have connections for any local artist that's trying to get put on, trying to work with me, trying to just get something going on with this whole music thing. You can hit me up at JUGOTJUICE20 JuGotJuice20 on all social media platforms, okay? As far as the music, when it comes to iTunes and blase, JuGotJuice without the 20. I'm willing to collab with local artists depending on how you sound. Now, obviously, I'm not going to collab with every single person because I can't do that. But most definitely, man, I'm all down for working with local artists, no matter what type of music you make, man. Just hit me up and we could chop something up and then we can get with it.
Guys, you just heard that it's not everyone. Yes, we might say, yeah, I do music, but it's not everyone that is going to select. So if you think you got it, please highlight him.
Get at me.
He's going to assist you. Thank you, Drews. Guys, let's see you on the next segment of INFERNO 101 with your host, KG. Drews, thank you.